Hey there, Taurus. This is Joy with Joy the World, here to take an intuitive peek into the energies going on around you. Friends and subscribers, welcome back. And if you're new to this channel, click that subscribe down below right now. That's right, because it is free as always. And any of you who tune in, if you'd like to know anytime I post new videos, ring that bell out beside the subscribe where, right down below, and they will be sure to notify you. Now, as far as the content on this channel that we provide, if you find that you like it, share, comment, like, send it out to whoever, whenever, whatever, because these are energy sessions here to help you level up, to bring in your best, bold, bright, most beautiful dreams, because your success, your satisfaction, happiness make our world a better place, make my world a better place, and genuinely brings peace and joy to my heart. Now, you send your friends and loved ones and whoever else, and then you won't have to be listening in on it. They can come here and have a talk with me, and I can talk with their spirit and their soul and their guides, and it can begin to move in them and provide the resonance that they need on their own time, right? So that their world starts to level up, freeing up a little time for you to get into your sunshiny self. Now, Taurus, T card for you. Talk about life coming up, roses. Now, this is a two-way street, a two-way split, mostly on one side than the other. So for some of you, you have had trouble in your marriage. There's been issue, there's been a third person coming on in here, or there's been the infidelity, or there's also just been the mind straying of one of the partners, and that's showing and indicating that something else is rippling in the groundwater is going on underneath the surface. Now, for others of you, maybe you're coming out of divorce a long time and you're ready to seek a connection, to get to know somebody. And for some of you, it's flat out marriage, just straight up coming in. You're like, woo, woo, joy. All right, we talk about pleasure and home, Taurus. That's right up your alley. Because as I was shuffling and clearing the decks, the Cosmic Tarot was supposed to be my clarifier this week, but it shot out and it said, here's our two cards. Here's where we are, here's who we are, here's where we've been, here's where we're going. Okay, so that's why the message of those three different layers. Not that's going to keep playing out. It's about discovering the key of where you're at so that you can move forward in life and get into the flow of the abundance of life, get into the stream of the perpetuation of pleasure, those type of energies going on, and underneath it's bringing in the King of Coins. He slid and became inverted. He's definitely coming in, and he's going in to empower you to golden up, to step into your divinity, your divine purpose. And for somebody, that's the ones now. It's like about bing, 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 marriage. Ooh, who's that lovely partner coming forward to be with you, Taurus? I don't know. But you're like, oh yeah, dab. You dabbing out. You've been dabbing and dodging for a minute as your world was coming into an end, as you've been having to be so restrained and self-contained. And for some of you, like, that's because no sex, Joy, no sex, no intimacy. I've been burnt out. I'm ready to light it up in here. And I'm like, light it up, baby. You don't need my permission. You know what you're here after. I don't even know. But it's about not being in other people's business, about being in your own, knowing who you are. And others might be saying, well, that's not the person for you, or you need to follow this person, or maybe that's the right one. It could be even be your own mindsets going on. But we need to snuff that out. We need to silence the reaper, okay? This isn't the good reaper coming in for the harvest this time. This is that old debris, the old detritus, your broken crown, broken dreams, time wasted on various sundry things, that type of energy going on, and losing a bit of a sight of who you are at your central core, okay? But that little birdie's shown up here to give us a message along with the planets and the stars. So I want to tap in and find out what that is along with this King of Coins, what he's bringing in. So we're going to go to one of my new decks. This is a True Heart Tarot. Let's find out. My goodness. Forceful? Why you being a brute? You don't have to be a brute with me, friend. All right, we got the two cards here. So what's the little birdie coming to tell us? That's what we're going to look at. Four of Swords first. It's got friends. That bird has friends and has brought in the order and establishment of your healing to bring you into a lighter space, a lighter energy, that as you do, it brings you up out of the black hole of darkness and into the light. And now I have no problem with dark. I love dark. I was born in January. I was born in 4:44 in the morning. I love all that. But it's time to bring you into light, to bring in the fulfillment of the promises of your breast, of your chest, of your hopes, of your dreams. Okay? That's what we got going on here. That's what little birdie's got to say. Now, I want to know what the planets and stars have to say, and that is this other card. Ooh, we got some earth energy coming on in here. Talk about stag's horn. Talk about elk's horn. Even bigger, even better, bolder, brighter, more beautiful dream. Not that one actually is than the other, but this, in your case, that is what is speaking and saying. It's kind of like, is it a spoon or a fork? And you're like, it's a spork. And we're like, what is a spork? And who wants a spork? And why a spork? You want a spork, baby. That's what I know. You want a spork because it all comes together. And you're like, boop, 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 boop. And we got Forsythia popping out. It's one of the first things in the yellow, in the seat of the soul, of the will, of the willpower, of the self, of your star energy. It's one of the first ones that springs out. And livens up. Now that would sound odd because you're like, don't make me have to wait till springtime. Now I will tell you, because COVID stepped in, all this unctuous pumpkin energy, all this harvest autumnal type energy is actually becoming a genuine spring. So we're having a spring and an autumn all at once, a synergistic energy. And he's like, he's sitting here thinking and pondering, and that's what he's talking about. The dreams and the destiny have arrived. It's time to come together, and life had to be turned on its ear, on its head, upside down, in order to shake out the piggy bank, in order to empty the contents of the treasury of dreams coming forward to you. All right. So we're going to get into our other cards here. This is the uncommon tarot. Is there anything? What are you doing about your dreams here? About your dreams here. Y'all flick at me. You're like, there, stop, Joy. And I'm like, what? Can we just do it the easy way? And you're like, look, I'll tell you how I gotta tell you, and I'm a little strong. I think things a certain way, so I'm just gonna let you know. And I'm like, okay, so let me take a closer look at what we got going on here. You're talking about kaleidoscope eyes. Hang on a second while I get us up. Some of you are attracted or drawn to mermaid, merman type energy. Men and women show up here, so I talk to both of y'all. But this has to do with, like, playing with the eyes of your perspective, the mind of your perspective, drawing back the curtains so you can see beyond the realm, so that you can come up out of that grave and you can get a better look. Remember, you're coming out of the dark. Your eyes have to adjust. Your pupils have to adjust. And this is like shining the light on. So, oh, excuse me, y'all, hang on. I caught it, baby. Who's that knocking over? Who's that wearing down? No, babe, no big deal. This is like that hole that you just came up out of. Some of you, it was out of a hearth. You came out of a fire. You came out of the ashes. Very phoenix type energy. And now you have the ability to see life clearly with a totally different perspective than anyone else you know. And this is hinting and segueing over into this next energy card we have coming in. Even though it's a tarot, you're saying it's an energy card, and it's bringing in the energy of strength, of balance, of facilitation, of proper connection, of motivating and movement, of things like energy is heat, light, or motion. And you're talking about motion, restoring your motion. Y'all better stop. When you get me up in here and get it flowing, you squeak in all sorts of things, and you're like, yeah, the motion of the ocean. I told you you were misbehaving. You all up here. Strike up your matches however you want to, but stop messing with me now. But some of you, it's also being attracted to a Capricorn. I can see that energy showing up there. You're talking about synergy. You talk about a Capricorn with a little bit of spice. You said spice is nice, twice as nice, as a matter of fact. And so here's some of that Leo, some of that fire opening up, and very much the autumnal spring. There's a code. There's a code. What is that? 9 fishes. 9 of cups. Oh, okay. So you're talking about that wish fulfillment, about the abounding in love. Abounding in love. So there's movement in the area of love in your life. And that's falling right under the King of Discs, because you're laying out an unconventional spread here for me. So I'm just having to roll with however you go. Oh, wait. Excuse me. It be like this. It be like this. All right. As opening up this channel of love. Now, with this, I'm going to get a bit of our massive deck. This is Mind, Body, and Soul that invented itself in one of our Monday reads. 2 things that are far apart coming together. Okay, let's first start there. So that's an outgoing energy, but it could be going into your future. So let's see the two things far apart coming together. So we have 12 and 23. That's an expanse of 11. So, like that intuitive mindset of, whoop, stop. How are you? Y'all are misbehaving so much. We are not talking about all that up in here. That's Freaky Friday. Talk about that sexual stuff. And your Chiron is getting excited because the healer's getting healed. You're, like, say you're an accountant and you know how to manage your money. The cobbler's kids have shoes. It's all those things that the rights and ownership to yourself are coming into the fruition, the fulfillment, bringing in the delight, and no longer just the pain, but now also the pleasure. And then the pain, remember roses, right? The sweetness of the fragrance, the tenderness of the petal, the magic of the rose hips that carry you through the winter, but also the thorns that are there as well. That they can teach you how to be aware and how to be careful and how to navigate the beauty of life, okay, in the garden. The truth of the garden, because without the thorns, there is no fragrance. So what you've been through has shaped you into a beautiful person, because look at her. Being dark can still be lovely. Being of the night can still be lovely. That's when photographs used to be made from film, that's where they discovered who they are. That's where we uncover who we are. And then when brought into the light, everyone can enjoy. Everyone can see, and you yourself can now see, like with these kaleidoscope eyes, right? Okay? So out of the fire, but not into the frying pan, baby. But you got to look up in here. Y'all being so naughty. I don't know if you can see what's going on right there, Taurus. But that's what you're talking about. Man or woman here, you know what that's up to you. All right? And so then that takes us into the panacea. There is a solution for every problem. And I would say here, let yourself go. Stop dealing with the entanglements, those type of things. Like some of them happen to you and some of them you choose. Okay, death is now rising the sun. Death is now rising the sun. So, okay, just by saying that, we've now activated the sun to rise, the light to come, that those are setting. It's going off in the past, being separated or from you, no longer to recur or to come about, ever to be seen again, is what you're saying. So, why continue talking about it? So now we're moving forward into this other energy, because the car went like this, and this was the one that came out first. And this is of your body. So let's see about your body. Talk about 14, equality, seahorse. Being at the same mind space, the same energy. You each do your own spiritual work. I love that. You don't have to look at each other and work with projections and try and work it out here and arguing or whatever. You both have faced your fears. You're stepping into your true self, looking into the mirror, into the waters of refreshment, into the cleansing states, so that you come to each other pure and clarified, not having to pass your buck off to somebody else. No passing the buck here, baby. So that's why some of you are like, ring a ding ding, Joy, I'm ready to step into marriage. If that is the energy that we are talking about here, seahorse, that two are devoted to family. And now, y'all, you don't have to have kids, okay, to have family, but family, the relationship, the bond, the union. It could be the families that you come from. It could be the community that you live in. Y'all both have that heart that you've been to the mountain and back, that zenith. You have been and seen a challenge. You have taken life, the challenge of life, and stepped into it and faced the day with a good attitude, like taking charge, a taking charge type attitude. I totally love that. And a playful energy comes about because of it. It brings in dolphin spirit. It brings in the silver threads, the gossamer string fool. And that's a fool unto life. That's a fool unto surrender into the playfulness, to the freedom of living. No longer schooling yourself and testing yourself and having to learn lessons. It's about playing and navigating life because you live on purpose. You're here to be divine. And that's what you're talking about. I love it. Thanks for sharing this with me. Remember to leave your comments down below. Let me know what is going on with you in regards to these energy sessions. Check out the Monday and Friday reads because they are timeless reads. That's just when they show up, so you can count on them. I've also now started producing or providing, whatever, producing, bringing forward some weekly reads that are timed reads that you can take a look into the energy that is showing up. I try and put them out about a day or two in advance. And if you haven't already, check out the Scorpio season video. It's not just for Scorpio suns, it is for this season of this next coming 30-ish so days that we're going through. All right, I love you. We'll talk soon. Bye.